Hello and greetings everyone. Good to see you there, Stockwater, Adrian Bauer, Leather Soup, welcome, good to see you too. Hope you're all doing great today. Gonna jump on in and focus on the art. I'm not even gonna look at the document today because the document stays basically the same at the moment. We just do the same thing every stream. Work on this damn background. Maybe I can get some progress on it today. We'll see. I did do a little bit of work on it yesterday offline, but honestly I don't know if anybody would notice the difference to be yeah. Well, we'll take a look and have a look where it's at. And I'll jump on in and get to work on it. I gotta press a button here. I guess this one will do. I have to do that. I should have had a button for the drawing scene because I don't have one. Hello, greetings. It's good to see you all. I hope you're doing good. The dev streams are fun, but man, this has been a journey of frustration. Somewhat. Yeah, so let's see. This whole section here, I think we worked on recently. I think I don't remember what I did offline compared to what was online. One thing I did offline was moving the shed so that it's not overlapping the house. I think that was probably a good move. I added this little crack down here. I think I did that offline. I added just a little bit of outlining to the pillars just to try and help them stand out a little bit more and feel a little bit less like cardboard cutouts, because they kind of look like cardboard cutouts to me. I think I might try and work on those a little bit more today. As far as like everything else goes, I think like just doing the shed some justice with some actual like painting some boards and stuff on it, and like redoing the roof, like basically redrawing the entire thing. Take a shot at that, and also getting the fence in and maybe even the tree. And that would actually tie up most of this background. It's just the doorway. You need to get the doorway in. Maybe I'll do that today. I don't know. In theory, if I do a hard push today and just like focus and get some work done, we might actually finish this entire scene out to a point where it's like done enough. I think the awning looks really bad and I don't know what to do about it. I kind of like the idea of having the awning, but I don't know what to do about it. Maybe some color changes would help. I don't know. All graphic work in games is a series of progressive steps from what I've heard. Yeah, it is very much like that. Like, I've been in this position before where I felt like what I'm working on isn't working, and then, like, as I add a few more details here and there, and as I start to work in, like, some of the elements, it starts to come together, and I'm like, oh, you know what, actually, it's not too bad. The thing that's hard to keep in mind while I work at this resolution, which is an extremely high resolution, considering it's going to be 200 pixels tall at the end. The details, I see the details, I'm like, oh, that really needs to be like a little bit cleaner there and this and that, and it's a constant battle. I have to remind myself, like, you know what, you don't need to get everything perfect. Like, having things a little off, it's not gonna like come through when you look at the final product. So that's something I need to bear in mind a little bit better as well. I'm actually pretty happy with how the window looks, like, to be honest. Like, I did that reflection, I was like a bit down on it, but like looking at it now, I'm like, yeah, that looks kind of cool. I like it. It's like a little unique, a little different. I probably wouldn't have tried to do that if I hadn't gone and looked at references from Day of the Tentacle and stuff, so it was fun to think about it that way and go, you know what, I could just put some reflections in the window, like, that's allowed. Yeah, the fence, I think I want to nail the fence soon as well. This shed really needs work. Like, the shed is something I look at every time, I'm like, that's what an eyesore. It's just, like, it doesn't... I was experimenting with the brushes in this tool and, like, having varied amounts of luck with it, I would say. So... yeah, I think if I was just using those brushes, trying to create a picture from scratch and doing it a bit more with a traditional approach, it'd probably be easier to bring something together that I like. Although it'd be more work, frankly, so I don't know if I will ever bother trying to do that. But yeah, something else to think about, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna work on the shed. I think that's like It's either the door or the shed. I'm going to start working on the shed, I think. One thing you learn from making comics is the original inks are much larger and covered in errors that vanish when it shrinks to print. Yeah. That's where we're at here. That's kind of what I have to deal with today. It's just to remind myself, like, hey, the details that you're struggling to, like, put in are probably just going to be, like, 2 pixels and not worth spending this much time on. So, yeah. I gotta get in. I gotta just dive in and get some stuff done. I've been... I didn't start early enough today, again. I sort of, like... I don't know. I've been feeling the need to take a little bit of time and relax a little bit more than I have been. Try and give myself an opportunity to recharge a bit more between sessions, but at some point I need to dive in and actually do the dev work on the Thursdays, like, properly. I need to do, yeah, probably this week I'm aiming to do that, is like start much earlier. So I'll probably be starting closer to like 9 a.m. maybe between 9 and 10 a.m. I'll like try and make that my start time, which does change like the way I'll work a little bit, because I'll like have to, obviously I'll have to get up and go out and like get a coffee and go get food and use the bathroom and all those things, because I'll be working a full day. So I'm not going to sit down here for like 8 hours and just work at it. But Thursdays, that's probably what I'm going to try and focus on. So once I drop the kids off to school on the Thursday morning, come back here, get coffee, maybe eat some breakfast, you know, all that stuff, and then jump in and start working, and see how that goes. One thing I can't do while I'm streaming the game dev, which is something I would normally do, is put on something like a YouTube video or a movie or something while I work. Don't know if that's a bad thing. Maybe that would help me loosen up creatively a little bit more if I had something like, you know, if I could put Back to the Future on in the background while I'm working, something like that might change things a little bit. But yeah, I enjoy the process of doing it on stream enough that I think it justifies it. It just does change a little bit, you know, in that regard. Where is this glare coming from? I think it's this. Yeah, it's from that. I just turn it away a bit. Is that better than without it at all? Yeah, that's good. All right. So this background is a scrolling background. The two halves are basically, like, I think that, I don't know if this is, what's the dimensions of this actually? I don't know if this is double wide or not. It might be. I think it's double wide. Yeah, it is. So basically, like, at the two extremes, you don't have half the screen. But I think it's pretty clear that it scrolls. This path here was something I was talking about before. I need to think about something to do there. I might just draw some, like, stuff on the path, like, you know, a red wagon, a bicycle, something like that. Just stuff that's in the way. I don't know how this crack is going to turn out in low resolution. Probably won't turn out very well. It doesn't look very good to start with. I very quickly scribbled that in as an experiment while I was cleaning up the rest of the stairs. Things that I did on the stairs, I was just adding some very, very subtle details that are not going to come through on pixel art, but I'm hoping that they will just influence the pixels just a little bit. These are like much darker, very thin lines around the edges of some of the pieces, which if I zoom in, you'll be able to see better. So, yeah, these lines around here, just like, you know, I was intentionally not drawing at this resolution as well. I was like more about here. I just really wanted to like loosely scribble in some stuff that and scribbling isn't going to be, I don't think that will influence the pixels too much, because like with these fine lines, so I think that's going to be okay. Yeah, anyway, might just bring up the tool palette for this thing that I'm using. What's it called again? The tablet? Where's the tablet settings? I guess it's not running. I need to, like, run it. Huey on maybe? Huey on tablet, that's the one. Oh, I already mapped it. I was like thinking, oh, map R to this button. I already have. I guess past me was already thinking of this. All right. Okay, so that's already grouped. Why is R held down? What is going on? Something's gone wrong here. I don't know what. I'll drink some coffee while I wait for this to sort itself out. I don't know if groups can have subgroups. I'm gonna stop wasting time here. Let's see. Let's just get on with it. Hey, sweetheart. Stop. You gonna leave soon? Okay. I'll come out in just a minute. What time are you leaving? Okay, I'll pop out in just 1 second. I'll be right back. My daughter's leaving for her birthday party with her friends. Sorry about the delay, but we're all good now. Thank you, Rue. Good to see you. Welcome yourself. Ain't had that cat. Good to see you. Shed fixed, I see. Enjoying the door. Well, the shed's not fixed, but yeah, the door is coming along. I did a little bit of like rearranging some layers around the shed, but still got lots of work to do here. The shed itself, I'm going to redraw basically the whole thing, I think. Microsoft is coming for your Windows 12 logo on the door. Okay. They can have it. I'm getting in that space where I'm like, oh, there's all these subtle details that I need to touch up, and I don't need to do that. This is exactly the time wasting I was talking about before. Yeah, door frame just needs some texturing on it, I think. Let's do that. Gonzo Cookie, hi, good to see you. Everything's going all right, actually, yeah, thank you. Very nice door. Day of the Tentacle look down pat, thank you. Hopefully it works out. I don't know. I mean, I'm still nervous about it, honestly. But let's reserve our judgment. Let me reserve my judgment, I should say. And we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it'll be okay. I just need to be able to move on, honestly, at this point. Like, I've spent so many hours on this freaking image. Hey, Orange Otter Pop, good to see ya. You look like a guy I watch. Hi. Welcome to Fractal Mind Dev. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I have anonymous follows on the channel. You can probably guess who might have just followed, though. I'm going to turn the dehumidifier on. It's getting stuffy in here. There's this guy who plays Discworld games. Could be your twin brother. Wait, what? Where am I drawing on? Huh? Oh, I guess I wasn't pressing. What's going on? Oh, I know what's going on. There's like a layer above it. That's better. I feel like that's a mistake, but that's fine. Let's see if we can. Moving on. Not even going to look at it anymore. I'm going to just do one more little subtle thing here. Nailed it. Hey, Sawdust Prophet, good to see you. I don't know if this is supposed to have Day of the Tentacle vibes, but it really makes me want to play it again. Thank you. Yes, it is supposed to have Day of the Tentacle vibes. Absolutely, Sawdust. I suppose I don't have it in the stream title, do I? Oh, I do. It's in the stream title. It's just at the very end. You might not have seen it. But DOTH, Day of the Hamster. The last game I released. Let's take a short break to take a quick look at it, so I can show you that, if you haven't seen it already. What happened? Lost my window. There it is. Here it is. This is Day of the Hamster. You can play it on itch.io right now. Let's watch the trailer real quick here. Actually, it's a good idea, right? Where's my music gone? I need to pause it. Pause. Reset that. There you go. So this is Day of the Hamster. You can play it now. It's available now on itch.io. I made it because I was inspired by Day of the Tentacle and LucasArts games like Sam & Max Hit the Road. No cats were harmed during the making of this game. That's true. Who will help Lucas escape the escape from the escape room for me? Exactly. You will, Draforan? Excellent. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. So that's that. There's also the previous game available on my itch page. If you go back to view all by Fractal My Mic, this is the one I'm currently working on, Day of the Redacted. The Day of the Sandwich was the first one I put together. This one was like a rapid one that I put together. It takes about 20 minutes to play, probably less for some people, maybe a bit more for others, but it's about there. This one is just about making a sandwich. Pretty straightforward thing. I developed the whole thing on stream. You can watch the archive here. There's a whole archive of things. Oh wow, it's like my stream inside my stream. But yeah, there's a whole archive of all of the games I've been working on right here. So you can go through and see everything that I worked on. Some of it I lost the videos for, and it is what it is. Orange Otterpop, the answer to your question, why a second channel? I used to do dev work on my main channel, and what I found was there was a very different audience that would come and hang out for that versus the retro gaming stuff. So there is a bit of crossover. There is a fair bit of crossover going from retro gaming to dev, but going from dev to gaming, like, I think there's there's less crossover. I guess in both directions there's a little bit of loss of crossover. So I thought, just purely for my mental state of like, I don't want to impact my viewer counts on my gaming channel, yada yada, I was like, what if I just do a dev channel? And I'd been saying, like, I'm going to start a dev channel for like almost a year before I finally actually did it. I did it at the start of this year, and it's been going great. It's really helped me with my productivity. So that was the main thing, was just like getting over my own mental hang-ups on it, I guess. But I think it works because the gaming channel is going very well, and this channel allows me to do the work, and it's not monetized. I'm not stressing about numbers on it. We do go through and check out the stats occasionally when something interesting happens on the stats. Like, I'm very open about everything on here. Like, I cover I cover everything. So I do the full development process. I also show statistics on sales. I show setting up the pages, like anything that I'm allowed to show. Pretty much I show. I show my stats on the Twitch stats for this channel and everything. So there's like no hidden information. It's very much just me being like, hey, this is my process and I want to share it with people, and I feel much more comfortable here doing that. So I think it's good for everybody that way. Like people can see, people know like how much I made on the first 2 games that I released, and they're going to know how much I make on this game. So this one I want to put on Steam, and this one I want to have voice acted, and hopefully it'll be about an hour to play, like the last one I just released. But I'm going to have a fixed price. It's not going to be free, I don't think. The other 2 on itch right now, they're free. You can just go and play them in the browser and all that. I want to see what the impact of not having it free is. Because both of these, like Day of the Sandwich and Day of the Hamster, both got into the #1 slot on in various categories, actually. And Day of the Sandwich, I got licensed. I got a licensing deal for a games website called Cool Math Games, and you can find it on Cool Math Games right now. It took a while for them to actually put it on there. Here it is. It's in the new games category here. Day of the Sandwich. So you can just play it in the browser as well on that website. I don't know if it said hello Cooking Stan, but hi Cooking Stan. Doesn't have the full screen button there. Watch ad for big screen. Oh, okay. Yes, this one doesn't have background music. It doesn't have a lot of sound effects. It does have some sound effects, but it's nowhere near as advanced, I guess, as the previous one. I mean, as the second one. And also the graphics, I just like, they're nowhere near as complete as the first one. Sorry, the second one. I keep mixing up the chronological release order of them. But yeah, you have to get the milk and make the milk and all that kind of stuff too in this one. So if you haven't played the games before, please go play them. Play them on the itch page, probably better than playing them on the Cool Math Games page. But well, this one's the only one on the Cool Math Games. It's #5 in new, not bad. It's been out for a week or something. So, you know, the games did very well on itch.io. That's what I was saying. I wonder what will happen if I don't have it free to play. Like, if it does equally as well, then that will mean more income for me. And I am trying to make game dev part of my full-time income, if not all of my full-time income, alongside streaming. So I want to, within the next sort of 12 to 18 months or so, I want to transition from working in my day job to working full-time for myself on game dev and streaming. That's my goal. It's a big goal, but I already have a couple of friends who do basically full-time streaming as their only source of income, you know, that they bring in, and that's enough for them to live off. I have a bit of an awkward situation where I have 5 people in my family that I care for as well. So it's my wife and 3 children and myself. You know, we have a mortgage to pay off and all the bills that come along with school fees and things like that too. So our living situation is a little different. So it means that funding myself from full-time game dev and streaming, I have a lot bigger target to hit, I guess. But I still think it's doable. I think it's doable. And hopefully, like, one of the games that I do, like, hits it big, and then I don't have to worry about anything anymore. But you never know. Like, those things, that's kind of like winning the lottery, basically. Anyway, that's a little intro for you all. Hope that was okay. Yeah, a little bit of monologuing. Never hurt anyone, right? Another thing that I am doing with regards to looking like Day of the Tentacle, I am actually referring regularly to Day of the Tentacle and Sam and Max graphics, like this. So I'll have, like, you know, I'll go and find like a reference image that I think is suitable for like getting the feel that I want to go for. Like, looking at this right now, like, every time I remind myself, I look at this and remind myself what I'm doing, I'm like, holy crap. This is not how I work. Like, the lines here, for example, that you can see, like this bulbous looking flue, or whatever you call this, the chimney, the fireplace, that's what it's called. The fireplace has this like really extreme bulbous look to it. And then, like, you know, the turkey picture and the chairs are ridiculous. Like, all of the proportions are like just wacky. There's like shapes that are really interesting. The shape of the room like has this very drawn out, like, warped perspective in it. Like, things don't necessarily make sense when you look at them in isolation, but when you look at this whole picture, it's like, oh, that's the style. And I'm still, even now, struggling. This is the third game I've worked on with this style. I'm still struggling to nail this look. I don't know what it is about it, but like, my art background, I focus more on things like maybe this isn't a perfect example, but stuff like this, you can see the, like, you know, the skeletons and like the wizards and stuff. Like, I like to draw like those like fantasy art and that kind of thing. That was like what I like to do if I was just drawing something for myself. That's the kind of thing I would draw. But for like more graphic design stuff, it was like a lot of corporate things, architectural, like, you know, sketches and things like that, but not like, you know, technical drawing. I did a little bit of technical drawing, but I didn't do this style. This isn't something that I'm like super comfortable with, is what I'm saying. But I love the look of it, and I'm trying to get better at it. Day of the Beholder, yeah, next time. The cartoon warped style, yeah. The name of the style, Tazdij, is probably, I would call it surrealist, or inspired by surrealism. So you're looking at, or cubist maybe, like if you look at cubist films, German cubism films, that is a influence on this style. You look at Salvador Dali images, like they can have that kind of feel to them as well. Look at something from Warner Brothers in, like, I guess like the 50s, 60s era Warner Brothers animation, I think. So if you look at, like, you know, what are we, I'm trying to think, what's the name of the coyote and the road, oh, it's called Roadrunner, right? It's just called Roadrunner. The Roadrunner animations, look at some of the backgrounds and stuff in them. You get that feel from them too. We can pull up some images for reference here, I guess. So, but yeah, I would say like it's in that cubism, sort of surrealism sort of side of art. Not all the way abstract like you would see with something like Picasso style. If you're not nailing Day of the Tentacle look, does that mean you're accidentally achieving your own look instead? Yeah. I am trying to bring a little bit of myself to the... I'm not trying to perfectly replicate the work of, like... what's the guy's name? Oh, Peter Chan, is it? Something like that? Who did the artwork for the... I think it was... I've got a book that I could look at right here. Can I... Robert Miller. Who did these backgrounds? Colette Michaud. That's not it. That's not it. There should be an index I could look up, but I thought I could quickly find what I wanted. Okay, this is not happening. I'm not doing it. I'm not pulling it off at all. Maybe if I go... This is annoying. Is there a table of contents? Huh. Why can't I find the name I'm looking for? Maybe I'm just dumb and I've forgotten somebody's name. Eric Chai, I think, is one of the artists that I wanted to look at actually here, 82. He did some interesting stuff, but I don't know if that's like really what I want to talk about actually, come to think of it. You know what? I'm going to give up trying to find the people I was looking for. David Fox is a LucasArts veteran. Why can't I find the names of the people I'm looking for? It's weird. I know they're in here. Maybe I just forgot their names? Hey, Sentient Program, good to see you. Welcome in, welcome in. Peter Chan design backgrounds, says Wiki. Yeah, Peter Chan did some backgrounds. France, hello. Hello there from Australia to France. Thank you. You're very kind. Roto Vibes. Is it Roto Vibes? Roto Vibes. Full Throttle is one of my favorite games, Taz did, yeah. That's another one that I want to, like, maybe go and look at doing something in the style of eventually. Yeah. Oh, man. There's so much good art. They're like very, very talented artists, and it is intimidating, right? Trying to move into that style and do something in that style. I need to practice my art a lot more too. That's another thing I have to do. I have not practiced enough lately. I'm very out of practice, in fact. Like, starting this year is the most art I've done in, like, probably decades, so... There's a lot of good art in this book. This is a very good book to reference, I think. Yeah. Just to, like, go back and have a look and, like, see what people did and what worked, what stuff I like and what's influential to me and stuff like that. But yeah, I know Steve Purcell was like the guy behind the characters Sam and Max, but there's other people working on the backgrounds as well. Pretty sure it was Peter Chan working on the backgrounds for it. I thought there was a Peter Chan interview in here. There might just be a Steve Purcell one. Maybe I'm misremembering. But Peter Chan, he did the backgrounds for that. He did backgrounds for Day of the Tentacle as well. Anyway, I'm on enough of a tangent. I'll put this down. Probably should get some work done again. Seems like an amazing book, though, just from catching a small glance. Yes, Barizzle, if you want to check that book out, it's called The Art of Point and Clicks. Sorry, The Art of Point and Click Adventure Games. It's from Bitmap Books. If you just search up Bitmap Books, you might end up finding a ton of books that you want to get. That could be a problem. You might end up with a new library of awesome references. Moby Games credits Larry Ahern, Kyle Balder, Peter Chan, Jesse Clark, Leela Dowling, Sean Tucker, Ron K, Lucier as arts graphics people for this game. When you say this game, Day of the Tentacle, I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Steve Purcell also worked on it. Purcell was like pretty integral at LucasArts for a long time, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Purcell was working on a different project at the time they were working on Day of the Tentacle. You want to make an MMORPG that operates entirely on 1-800 number you can call? That's interesting. That was a nice tangent. We got to see lots of the book. Yeah. Hey, Pi, thanks for linking to the Art of Point and Click Adventure Games. Bitmap unfortunately makes many good things to spend money on. It is unfortunate they make so much good stuff that you want to buy. There's still a bunch of them that I haven't got that I want to get eventually. Reminds me of the Stereo Online book that was released a few years ago. Still need to get that one. Yeah, there's also another one that's just getting... I think it just got funded, or the Kickstarter might be still active. I don't remember. There's another... Oh, is that a documentary or a book? I think it's a documentary, actually, what I'm thinking of. Yeah, there's so much good stuff out there now. Like, now, there's a ton of great stuff that points back to the 90s and 80s and, like, early days of, like, game development and follows them through history to today, which is really cool. It's cool to see some stuff like that. Like, what we're seeing is, like, games are being taken as seriously as movies and art were for us when we were growing up in the 90s. People didn't really think of video games that way, but now they are. People are finally, like, looking at them in the same way that people looked at film and other things. So hopefully we can start to see more serious takes on stuff like that, and people like investing more into it. I know there's already like game development university courses and stuff like that, but I think like things might start to get taken a lot more seriously the more that these sort of things are documented and stuff like that, which would be good because it's weird that it's like a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it's like so many people spend so much time in front of video games, and yet they aren't really acknowledged in the same way that books and other media are. Like even today, I don't think, like, if you're a film buff, that's cool, but if you're a gamer, it's not, sort of thing. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's probably taken a bit of a turn nowadays as well, but yeah. Anyway, tangent complete. I'm gonna move back to scribbling on a digital tablet and pretending like I'm good at this. Sam Max appear courtesy of Steve Purcell, it says here. Ah, interesting. Do you remember standing in my kitchen looking at the phone bill from when I called the hit line for Sam and Max about 4 times? Oh boy. Did somebody get in trouble for that, or were you already responsible for paying the phone bill by this time? Specifically not looking at Bitmap books today, as I've done my book sped for the month on similar kind of coffee table book, but with sci-fi art from the 70s. Oh, I love that. That sounds cool. That sounds very cool. I'm going to focus on the shed right now. Just want to get this the shed over on this side done. Huh. Alright. I think I could work even harder on this LucasArts Day of the Tentacle look to get everything working for me a little better. I think things are a little bit too rectilinear still, but I'll keep working on it. Yeah, so the door we just did, I think, is actually pretty good. The shape of the house overall is okay. I think I could have probably played a little bit more with the shape of the weatherboard, the bricks even. These pillars and like the parts here, I think I could definitely play with the shapes a lot more here to maybe lend itself a bit more to like the style that we're just like looking at, but it's fine for now. I can always redraw the pillars. I don't think that would take too long to redraw some of these and the pedestals and such. Like this part here, for example. Leave the stairs where they are, but just like, you know, making this poke out a little bit and have this go up on a little bit more of an angle. You know, something like that could really help. I'll try and work that out with the shed redrawing. I'm going to redraw the shed. The fence, we'll bring in the fence soon as well. Grass and stuff I want to take care of. Maybe put a few points of interest and stuff in there, like some pebbles, maybe some flowers or clover flowers or something like that. This shed needs to have the doors jammed and then they get yanked off, so I might draw it without the doors on and just draw the crap inside, and then we can draw doors on over the top later on. Yeah. Spaceships, aliens and such, which I'll use as inspiration for my own future game graphics. I need to learn Blender too, as I am no good at drawing stuff like that. Oh man, Blender would be great. It's a great tool to have in your belt for sure, I think. Game 4, did you finish making 4 games or are you working on many at once? So I worked on... Yeah, I'll walk you through it. Since this is all new to you, I can walk you through it. We skipped looking at the document today anyway, so it's actually not a bad thing to go back and take a look at the document. Let me just quickly get set up here. 1 second. So here's the goals for the channel. I'll walk you through everything. So this is your personal introduction to the channel, and anybody else who's listening and for the first time hasn't heard this stuff before. I'll walk through everything. I'll try and be quick because I don't want to waste too much time on it, of course. But I'm okay with sharing this stuff because I think it's important. It's a good experience to know like where I'm coming from as well, I think. So goals for the channel: make games. I always make games. I've done so less in the last 3 years. Now that's no longer technically true because in the last 7 months, we're in the 8th month of the year, so the last 7 and a bit months, I have been making games pretty much continuously. There was a few little breaks here and there where I was like either sick or needed to take some time to do other things, but pretty much consistently throughout this year, which mirrors a bit more what I used to be like before I started streaming. There's always some kind of side project that I was working on, game dev or something else. Refraction, hi, good to see you. Enjoy the lurky turkey, hope it tastes delicious. So get more experience with releasing games, because I never release games. There's a lot of projects I worked on by myself with other people that never saw the light of day, or the ones that did I ended up taking down because I wasn't happy with them. I was like, they're not good enough. I don't want people to think this is what I do. If I was still that person at the start of this year, I was determined to not be that person. But if I was still that person, I would have taken down Day of the Sandwich. Maybe I would have left up Day of the Hamster, but I think I would have gone and patched it and spent like another month or 2 patching it after release, and it would have transformed the game a fair bit. But I'm trying to respect that, like, that's what it was released as, and try not to change too much and like take things down and like, you know, like all that stuff, because like I have my whole life sort of struggled with that. There's a certain kind of anxiety that I have about releasing stuff, putting things out there. I've worked on many projects, videos, art, games, and all kinds of stuff that I never published because I was too concerned about the perception, and that I didn't think it was at the standard that I wanted to be at, so therefore why would I release it? I want people to see something that's not up to my standard. But the fact is, releasing them, and I know this, like, I've known this in my head for decades, that releasing games gives you experience that you can't get if you don't release games, and it gives you feedback, and it lets you know, like, what people accept and what people won't accept, and what people will think is interesting and what people think is not interesting. You learn from that. You can't get that experience if you don't release the games. That's why I was determined this year to just, like, look, I'm just going to make something really quick that I don't care about and release it, and then I'm going to try and focus on making interesting games. So that's what I did. Keeping a regular schedule. This has just been me just trying to set some goals for myself. Again, this is goals for the channel. I've crushed the goals that I set in keeping a regular schedule. So probably streaming during Saturday on the day. I actually didn't stream yesterday. I don't see it as a loss. I've streamed during the week. We've hit some pretty good goals on game dev streaming. Hardest part of the project for me is finishing touches. Yeah, so the thing is, like, I don't do the finishing touches anymore, because if I do, it's going to be another like 6 months before I finish, because nothing's ever good enough. I literally, I'm not joking when I say nothing is ever good enough. If you like see anything in any of the games I've done, like, nothing is good enough. Perfectly is enemy of good. Yeah, exactly. And I know that, but it's still very hard for me to let go. So yeah, at least 8 streams a month. I've crushed that goal pretty much every month. Even when I wasn't doing it, I think I might have even still hit these goals. Even when I had to take a break, I don't think I missed enough to say that I didn't do 8 in that month. Maybe I could go back and check the calendar and see which ones I missed. Maybe I did miss out on hitting that goal once or twice, but I'm pretty sure I've nailed it. Why am I doing this here on this channel? So this is answering the question that we were talking about before. Basically, don't want to feel pressured to perform like I do on the main channel and yada yada, which we just discussed that a moment ago, so I won't reiterate it. What happens on this channel? Programming, designing, thinking, text, concepts, images, art for games, possibly some live discussion. We've done one live discussion with Duke Donuts about game design, which was really fun. I think we lost it though. I think I forgot to back it up, unfortunately. Frequently asked questions. I guess people did ask some stuff. So what tools do you use? I use Sublime Text for most programming stuff. For art, use Krita for illustration and painting, GIMP for technical stuff. I don't know, like, you know, converting graphics and stuff. Sprite for pixel animation. Trying out Synfig Studio as a vector animation tool. I've decided not to pursue that. It's not a very good tool, and it seems like it's broken every time I try and use it. So for audio using Audacity. For adventure games, I'm using AGS engine right now. Decided not to make my own engine or use something else. I just thought AGS was the best choice. If you want for more information on that, I did actually make this engine selection criteria sheet. This is basically AGS has a low complexity rating for implementing the games and a high fitness rating for implementing the games. The pricing model is great and the licensing suitability is perfect because it's all open source and yada yada. So I ended up getting a very good score in the end compared to something like, say, even a custom engine, which I normally would do a custom engine for games. I like making engines. I think it's fun. And even that, like, kind of scored lower than, say, using Raylib or Allegro or something like that, I think. Oh, actually, it scored better than Allegro for some reason. Godot was a choice that I considered. I couldn't find any tools that made life easy enough for me. But otherwise, it's, like, pretty much comparable to AGS. I said the fitness rating was slightly less because I couldn't really find an engine, a mod or tool set that would help with making adventure games specifically. That looked like it was still under development and looked like it was advanced enough to do what I wanted to do. Also, like, I might run into other problems with Godot that I wouldn't know how to deal with, so, you know, there's that too. In terms of complexity, I don't know. I think I rated it at a 9 because I assumed that I might have to create a lot of my own tools to extend Godot to do what I want, and I didn't want to have to spend any time doing that sort of stuff at this stage. So its score is still pretty decent, but not as decent as, say, other tools like AGS. Anyway, that's that. For custom engines, I use C and C++, sometimes other libs like Raylib. So other games to work on, these are just some ideas. Scorched Earth Clone, I actually did. That's the second game that I worked on. That's why we're on game 4 right now and not game 3. I didn't release it because I realized at a certain point that I wasn't going to make it. But here's just a list. You can look at the list real quick. I'm not going to read every one of them, but there's a bunch of ideas here. There's some silly ideas like this one. So games I'd like to work on soon. These are the actual short list of things that I want to try out. work on. I'd love to work on something that, oh, let me start at the top, I guess. Something time gate, Alone in the Dark style mini adventure, like Jack in the Dark, something like that. If you've seen Jack in the Dark, it's between Alone in the Dark 1 and 2. It's the prequel to 2, basically. It's like sets up, it's like the prologue to Alone in the Dark 2. I love the way those games look visually. I think the pixel art, technically drawn pixel art backgrounds look fantastic. I love the griminess that they have to them too. I just think they're really neat looking pictures. I would love to do something in that style, and like a low poly protagonist and enemies with like, but you know, we can do better with texturing these days than you could back then. We could also do better with shadows and light and stuff like that. Yeah, so this is something I'm kind of excited to try out. I would love to do something like that. The little gem of an idea that I wrote down here is just like needing to escape with locked into a warlock's dungeon, and the player is an alchemist, so like maybe you have to figure out some way to alchemy your way out of the warlock's dungeon or something. It could be a fun thing to do. Legend of Crandia Book 1 style adventure game. Specifically, I'm thinking about like the way the backgrounds look, the art style, and the setting, like, you know, a medieval fantasy sort of setting with like high fantasy sort of thing. Obviously, I would like the protagonist not to be Brandon. Brandon's kind of a whinger. I don't like him. But like the game is still one of my. I think Crandia Book 1 is my favorite of the Crandia games. But yeah, visually, love to work on something that looks like that. Your other game you have planned is Columbo FMV game. That's awesome. You don't know what tools would be best, but I bet Pygame would be fine for mostly playing slow clips, show clips. Yeah, you could make something like that with Godot or Unity as well. I'm sure they would be very easy to make something like that in. Or you could go old school and use Macromedia Director, which is a lot of games were made in that back in the day. So then I had the Day of the Sandwich Adventure, blah blah blah, not about making food. That's what I've actually made that one. I'm currently working on the third one in this series, so this is what I focused on. This line here, I'm actually working on this one right now. So that's cool. Full adventure in Day of the Sandwich universe. This is basically the commercial project. This is the commercial project, I would say. Like, let me change the color here to like a nice green color because it's commercial, you know, and I put a $sign in here. This is what I want to do. I want to do a Kickstarter for it. I got some ideas for the story and stuff. This is what I'm going to try and do after I finish this game that I'm working on right now. I'm going to focus on doing a full adventure in this universe. It's not the Day of the Sandwich universe, but that's what I called it at the time I wrote this list. Obviously, I'm going to come up with something a bit more interesting. The name of the game is not going to be Day of the Something. It's going to be something else, like, you know, a little bit more unique. Just to help separate a little bit that, like, this commercial venture is not a Day of the Sandwich fan game, a Day of the Tentacle fan game at all. It's just visually inspired by that style. I also want to do a cinematic platformer. I've been thinking about this for a long time. Ideally, I'd love to work on The Princess Bride as the IP, because I think that is ripe for making a cool cinematic platformer style game. Obviously, we could just, like, rehash that story and, like, hint and nudge, but not actually infringe on copyrights. We could try that. But yeah, if that doesn't work, then maybe something like horror themed, because I do love that horror Lovecraftian vibe. Night of the Appendage. Yeah, there you go. Hey, Tawe Gia, good to see you. Sand game? Sand game. Did I hear Macromedia Director? That takes me back. Yeah, you did hear that. Good to see you, Tawe. I hope you're doing wonderful. Another amazing artist there, Tawe Gia, everybody. Much better than me. Definitely go follow Tawe's channel. So then, this is where it all started. So that was all basically day one. Not all of this was day one. Some of this I went back and filled in later on. But day one, we came to design a simple graphic adventure. I just decided to choose that. I was like, I need to do something. Let's just nail this. I've got 2 weeks off of work. I'll just do it. So we're at the start of this year in January. It was January 2nd, I believe, when I started. Thanks for shouting out, Tawe. I said, okay, what do we need for this to work? Characters, locations, items, problems, progression, story. Prototype it, pick an engine, yada yada. So this is where we actually went and created that spreadsheet to pick what engine I wanted to do. Game 1, I want a bacon sandwich, was what I started with, and I ended up choosing the name later on, Day of the Sandwich. I don't remember exactly when that happened. But day 1, learn about puzzle dependency graphs, create a puzzle dependency graph, and plan a bit for the future. That's what we did day 1. Day 2, researched engines, so that's when we actually did the matrix for engine selection. Prototype testing with game engines, so I think I fiddled around with something. Choose game engine, think about UI, think about art styles. Prototype testing with game engines, I don't know why that's listed twice. Maybe other stuff, I don't know. Anyway, we did that. Research engines, we ended up selecting AGS. These are the ones we were looking at as well. Day 3, we actually did set up some basic game in AGS. Create all / some of the rooms, I guess. I don't know, I was being funny. You can see this is the progression anyway. So, like, 2 weeks, Day of the Sandwich came out. Yeah, so on day 15, we published the game. Day 16, which was much later on, completed on a much later date, I went back and finished up some work on it for a licensing deal, which was to get the game on Cool Math Games. It's now here. Which is cool. Cool to see them get there. And then, I don't know, whatever. There was some other stuff I thought I would like to do that I never did. Future plans for this project world. No immediate plans to do anything. This is just speculative. This game could be integrated to Chapter 1 of a bigger game. Definitely want to see Delphine again. Night of the Pizza. Shaboy J suggested that. Maybe a slight possibility for a Kickstarter of a bigger project in the world. I don't know. I'm now leaning very much towards that after I finish the 3rd game, which I'm working on at the moment. Definitely want to do full voice and sound effects, etc. For this project. Someday I'll do that. Then we did this one, game 2. This was making a game called, well, everybody calls it Piss Tanks. I'm not sure why everybody calls it Piss Tanks. But that's, every time somebody sees the game, they call it Piss Tanks. Is this gonna work? Hello? Don't know why it didn't work just then. Should have worked. Try this one. There you go. So you can shoot like this acid. The acid attack. It uses cellular automata to generate the physics and stuff for the interactions with the terrain and stuff. You can also switch your weapon to fire explosives. And you can also turn on... I forget what button is F3, I think. F3 turns on the AI. Yeah. So this was a fun project. And I realized... to achieve what I thought I wanted to achieve, it was going to take too much time. Like, I was thinking in the order of, like, 9 months, and that means, you know, with typical developer prediction times, it probably would take, you know, over a year to finish it. The way that I wanted to see it done, and I don't think it would... I didn't want to spend time on it not doing it justice, basically. I wanted to do the idea justice, which would mean doing more work that couldn't be done in a timely manner. But I have a lot of faith that this game would be very good and probably would actually sell very well as well. So I wouldn't mind revisiting this project sometime for a commercial project, but I need to have more time. I need to be basically working full-time for this to be justifiable, and also probably have a little bit of a bankroll behind me so that I know that it's not going to be an abysmal failure that I'll have to quit and go do another job again. So, you know, there's risks to this game, but I think it could pay off. Don't know why people call it piss tanks, though. It's... But that's why that was game 2. That was game 2. My monitor on night mode, so the tank juice looks like clum. It's clearly acid, I know. It's clearly acid. Whiz tank is better. Yeah, maybe whiz tank. Thanks, Kev. Yeah, exactly. So that was the tank game. Issues that must resolve to ship. I need to solve following issues. Blah blah. Basically, a bunch of collision. I was writing that in C, C++, custom engine, using Raylib for the rendering and maybe some of the other bits and pieces, but mostly it was all custom. It's all about projectiles and how they handle in the world and the way the world reacts. More to-do items, like adding more effects to it. There was like a bunch of ideas, but then I was like, you know what, I made a decision. I'm going to change what I'm doing. So adventure game about escaping a vault. Turns out that was the idea I went with. I also considered doing a cinematic platformer next. I also considered doing a survival adventure. You might notice that these are all related back to that list that we were looking at earlier. Game 3, I decided to make it a game of an adventure game about escaping a vault, and that became Day of the Hamster, which you can play now. And I'm very proud of this project. I think it worked really well. If you haven't played it yet, I highly encourage you to play it. It's quite fun. If you like it, feel free to leave a donation for me, either through here or through my Ko-fi page, which I don't link to from here. I realize probably should put a link to my Ko-fi page here. Yeah, this game's actually really, really good. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, and you already heard me talk about how I'm very self-critical. This game is actually good. So I think you should play it. I could definitely work on it, improve it. I could solve some problems I can see with it, definitely. But like fundamentally, it's just a good game. I think I did a good job on it. I think you should play it. That's what this game became. So you can see that like this is how many days I actually spend on it. Calendar was longer than this because I'm obviously not working day to day. It's so day 35, day 36, 37, 40. Oh, and then we kind of got after I guess around day 40, that was day 40. So 40 days, a little over a month. If I was working full time, it would have taken me just over a month to finish the game, I guess. Although, you know, how do you work out maths when it's 5 divided by 5, 40 divided by 5? There you go. That's how many weeks it would have taken me to finish. You can then convert that back to months and know the actual number of months on the calendar it would have taken me to finish it. Anyway, there was a whole bunch of like stuff for refinements and like bug lists and whatever to finish it. Now we're on game 4, which we're actually working on today. Day of the Redacted. Literally, that was the name that I wanted to go with. I might change the name of it. I wanted to call it Day of the Redacted, but I might actually change the name of it to something else. I don't know. I was really confused about like I want the characters to look like. All I knew is I wanted them to be named Sierra. I wanted that to be kind of like a code name, so it's not like their actual like birth name. And they're really into conspiracy theories, and you know, they're obsessed with death and whatever. I think I put a bunch of notes about it. I eventually expanded the idea here. Obviously, got a lot of ideas. Goals for this game: objectives for improvement to the process, continue to improve background, asset pipeline, and polish. Maybe 256 color palette with blah blah blah. Who cares? Focus on character interactions, more jokes, more dialogue puzzles. That's what I am aiming to do. We can look at the puzzle dependency graph at some point if you want. Maybe having more varied soundtrack could be interesting. I'd like that. Scenes with more moody, darker themes, using darker music perhaps. That's a good idea. Bigger, broader, better animations and for special interactions. So yeah, I want to spend more time on this game doing things like animating. Character speaking animations and gestures would be interesting. Mouth shapes. Still would love to have voice acting, but probably still won't get it done. I really, really, really would like to hit the voice acting if I can. We'll see if we can do it. Tinkle tanks? Oh my gosh. I just saw that. Okay. And then we're up to here. We're up to day 17. We're working on backgrounds at the moment. And then here is the big plan. Taking you for a long walk here, Sentient Program and co. I know, but we're almost done. Stick with me. Day of the Redacted. My goal is to finish this by September 7th. It's rapidly approaching. I don't think we're going to nail that date. You can't see the calendar, but the 7th is, you know, the second week on the Saturday. Yeah, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. Don't know if we'll do it, but I'm going to keep trying. After we finish that game, once we check that, we move into phase 2, which is beginning work on the big adventure, which is going to be... This number is not realistic. It's probably more like 6 to 12 hours of content, I think. And we're going to aim for the 26th of October, apparently, which... There's no way we're hitting that date. Bring all 3 characters from the previous games together to solve an adventure. They'll have to work together, get split up, and all that kind of thing. It should feel something like Day of the Tentacle, or Maniac Mansion, Thimbleweed Park, etc. Get the first vertical slice done. Another 10 to 40 minute adventure. Honestly, I think this is going to be more like a 30 to 90 minute adventure. The way the last game worked out, and the way I think this game's turning out, I think it's probably going to be more like that sort of time frame for people to finish the game. With no conclusion, because that's the rest of the game. So we want people to, like, you know, want to play more. Phase 3, prepare and launch a Kickstarter to complete the big adventure using mini adventures and the demo as the introduction to the series. So basically, go to Kickstarter, say, look, I've made these 3 mini adventures, and also here's the intro to this game that I want to present to you. Here's the stuff that I want to make for you as part of, like, deliverables. So, like, a physical big box release would be something I'd love to do. Obviously, that would be like a high tier one, because the cost of production is pretty high. And, you know, some other interesting stuff, and maybe like having it split up, so like you can get the big box, or you can get the art book, or you can get assigned artwork, or you can get all of them, kind of thing. You know, those kind of tiered things. Figuring out the cost margin, etc. There's a whole bunch of tax implications to doing a Kickstarter. You hope Tinkle Tanks has voice acting. It could get voice acted eventually. Mega Plan, oh yeah, you can pull this off. Thank you, Sentient Program. It means a lot to me to hear the encouragement. It does help, believe it or not. Like, encouragement works. Who knew? Yeah, plan and complete video recorded, etc. for launch by October 31st. I just don't think these dates are realistic anymore. Even if I nail the rest of this game in the next 2 weeks, I still don't think we have enough time to do the massive amount of work that this will take. The reason my time frame was so tight is because I was thinking the end of this year I'd like to be able to have the Kickstarter either launched or ready to launch, so that I can focus on, like, the success or failure of that and deal with it. And, like, by next year I just have to focus on making one game for the year. I don't know if that's realistic. At this stage, I don't know if I'll finish it before the end of the year, basically, is what I'm saying. October 31st, that would mean we could launch on November 1st, which gives us, like, all of November, and then, obviously, by the end of that, it would be the next month. So we would know in December, like, hey, it's funded. I can now, you know, finish up whatever my day job is at the time, and then focus on game dev. So my current contract that I have is a 6-month contract. There's a very good chance that it will turn into a permanent role after that 6 months. And I quite like the people I'm working with. Actually, yeah, I quite like the people I'm working with, quite like the company. So if the Kickstarter fails, I still hopefully will have a job, and I don't have to worry about that. But it's possible that all the work could dry up, and then I'll be really in a hole, and I'll have to, like, you know, cyber beg and, like, try and scramble to find another job. But hopefully that doesn't happen. I don't think that will happen, but you never know. Hey there, Toasty. Good to see you. I assume you're talking to me. Because I am handsome. We are having fun doing art, and I'm just reviewing everything to reintroduce the whole project and process and how we got where we are. Because I like to share this stuff, and I think it's good to review and see how far we've come as well. So 1st of November, we know if we're funded or not. Oh, wait. How come this says 1st of November and this says 1st? I guess this is I must have adjusted this date, but not this one. This should say December, I guess. If it's successful, then we can maybe work on dev for 3 to 6 months. I would like to finish. If I estimate, let's just talk about this as like, you know, people need to have money to live, unfortunately. It's just a thing. So if I say, hey, I think I can finish this game in 6 months. If I fund for 9 months, assuming that I might be wrong, but then I finish the game in 3 months, what does that mean for people who backed the Kickstarter? Well, it means they get the thing earlier, which is good. It also means that I then have more time to do polish if I want to. Like I can do extra work and deliver something even better to them. It also means that maybe I can use that extra money to fund the next game as well. And then people who backed the Kickstarter can be like, hey, look, I used the money that I had from the Kickstarter to do this extra game. You can have that for free, you know, or you can pay a little bit more if you want to get a physical copy of it. So yeah, or I get a 3-month vacation. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. It means more time for stretch goal content. Yeah, so I don't have plans for stretch goals. I think stretch goals are they're a Trojan horse for not delivering on time. I think if I get overfunded, what will I do with that extra money? I can't make more content and deliver on time because I'm only one person. Hire voice actors is a great thing. I would definitely try and account for that in the original funding though. Like, I won't go to Kickstarter and say, if you give me enough money, I will do voice acting. I will just say, hey, this is going to have voice acting. So that's like my bottom line, like my minimum viable product for going to Kickstarter and asking somebody to fund the project. It's fully voice acted, the artwork's complete, animated, like no holds barred, basically. Like baseline, you need to have a great game at the end of the day. So that's the polish level if you had more money kind of idea. Yeah, I mean, more time to polish is always a good thing, but I don't think that's stretch goal. You know what I mean? Like, you can't put a stretch goal like, if we reach $1 million, I will just work extra hard and polish things a little bit longer, and you'll get the game later. Because that's like, it de-incentivizes to getting the game done sooner. Like, I could hire more people, but I like the idea of just working by myself. Honestly, if a Kickstarter hit $1 million funding, it'd blow my mind, and I would definitely hire people to work with me on the project, but that's unrealistic. I don't think that's going to happen. If you reach X dollars, I'll pay a musician for this much content, kind of thing. But if you're going solo only, yeah. So musician, I will hire a musician for sure. I would definitely pay someone for the work. I don't think, like, I would love to do the music, honestly. Like, I'd love to develop that skill. But I'm very happy to have someone like Old School Jay come in and do some music for me, honestly. He kicked ass doing the music for Day of the Hamster. The music in that game is really good. Reach 1 million and we get World of Piss Tags. Yeah. So stretch goals aren't something I'm keen on, really. I want to just be able to say, here's the thing that I'm going to deliver. If it gets funded, I will deliver that. Stretch goals are great if you think that, like, okay, like say as the stretch goal was like, I will pay, if we make double the money, I'll pay somebody to do a documentary on the development process. And if we hit that, then I'd be like, hey, friend or person who does documentaries, I need you to, like, work with me and we can do that. But yeah, it's like literally just like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'll have to think about stretch goals. I can never connect them in my brain to like being a good idea. Because it's just like, hey, we will scope creep for you if you pay us more money, which is like, yeah, okay. But what if you deliver the project on time and it was good? To start with. Hey Blue X, good to see you. Yeah, and I don't think you're wrong, Toasty. I think you're like, the idea, like, Kickstarter is full of people with stretch goals, And maybe there's some good stretch goals I could look at and be like, oh, that one won't impact my time on the game. But most of them will, I think. Hope someday to touch my toes without bending my knees. That's my goal. You should be able to do that, Sentient Program. You just have to, oh, it's a good stretch goal. I get it. You just have to stretch a little each day. You'll get there. Post-release improvements. Yeah, that's another thing. It could be like, hey, we're gonna like, this is the baseline. Stretch goals shouldn't affect the base game, and then like stretch goals could be other stuff on top of it. Like, you know, after it's released, I'll work on some artwork, or I'll like work on an art book or something like that. Hey, Ohms Dev, good to see you. Alex Van Aken lost his job at Game Informer, and he does video game documentaries. He started his own thing on YouTube called Viewport. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, actually. I mean, it sucks that he lost his job at Game Informer. Game Informer have historically done very well. I like them. I don't know if something bad has happened in the last couple of years or something like that, but... yeah, I'm good, thank you, Blue X. We just had a bit of time to reflect and think about the future at the same time, which is cool. It's good to be able to do that. It's 2:30. I got to get back to work on drawing this image. I still want to finish it today, so... but yeah, thank you very much, Sentient Program, for dropping in and giving us a reason to go back and reflect, because it is helpful. I appreciate it. We went through everything. Like that was you basically got the you basically got the summary of like the entire year to date. Sans a few, like, you know, there was some stuff that went on with like my life, like health and work issues and stuff like that, but other than that, pretty much very solid background on the year. So, and we got to look at some cool art book stuff too. Oh man, we've had some good distractions today. I don't even care if I don't get stuff done that I wanted to get done at this point. We had it's been a good one today. All right. Where's my mouse cursor gone? There it is. Okay. Some dust on this thing. All right, I need to switch that, don't I? There you go. So I usually try and work at about 33% zoom here. Because that's about like, you know, that's a pretty decent size to like visualize what it's going to look like on screen for me. The thing I want to tackle right now is this shed. I basically just want to like redo it. So that's what we're going to do. I guess that's what we're going to do. Let's see now. This entire thing, just hide that and redraw it. So we'll just draw over the top of it. It's a good, at least it's a good shape. I like the shape. Let's see now. So something like that. Why can I not draw a simple line right now? I get like really pedantic about a specific shape that I think I can see in my head. I don't want to mimic too much what the house looks like, otherwise it just becomes like like visually uninteresting. So maybe I won't do that. Now that I've thought about it, I won't do that. Just do this line. Something like that. I'll stop talking as much now too, so that's good. You get a break from my voice. You know what? I'm thinking about this. Maybe I should just go nuts. A little bit. What I'm going to do with this group is just drop its opacity a fair bit too. So I can see my lines a little bit better as I go. I have been diddled again. Somebody diddled? Thanks, Blue X. You vote a kitty in the shed. There is actually a cat already in the game design, which we didn't cover the game design today. We didn't go back and look at the current game's game design, but we could take a quick look at that if you want to. Jadaliz, do you have the pull to make me the King of Australia if I back the Kickstarter? Whilst I can't guarantee that I could make you the King of Australia, if you do back the Kickstarter to a high degree, I'll put in a word for you with the Prime Minister. I'll send him a hand-signed letter. I'll write a letter on parchment, put an official seal on it, and recommend you for King of Australia. Well, you know, obviously we have to close the deal, but you know, I'll do my best. I'll do my best to make that a recommendation to the Prime Minister. What's breeze block? I expect a little window or air vent, maybe a chimney, maybe part of the car sticking through, a hole for a rat, broken boards. Oh, you're talking about the shed? Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to mess around with this. First, I'm just going to nail a basic shape, and then we'll go back over it and like start putting in like the boards and cracks and stuff. But yeah, there's going to be like a concrete slab underneath it, so we'll work on that next. We don't need to enter the shed. We never need, like, I don't want to be able to enter it. So it's going to be filled with like, I don't know, boxes and machine parts or something. I don't know. There'll be something in the shed to block you from getting in. Breeze blocks are aka cinder blocks. Oh, okay. Standard grey concrete building block with 2 big holes in them. I know what a cinder block is. Never heard them called breeze blocks before. New layer. My nose is feeling a bit stuffy, and I think it's because I haven't had enough water. Cinder block in the Commonwealth. Used in a song? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't usually get my definitions for objects of the world from songs. Personally. I kind of forgot what I was doing. The shed now takes up less space, and I'm wondering if that's a bad thing. Hello? Oh, I don't have freaking... Breeze block is the UK name for them? Oh, okay. Strange. I like new words, so no matter where they come from, I try to learn what they mean. Why do you use such big words? Is something I got asked a lot in high school. Oh, good. Why use many words when few words good? I can't remember the quote. but that. Rural farming town. Most people's parents didn't make it out of grade 6. Wow. I too lived in a rural farming town. For a little while. Hey, Duck Admirer, good to see you. Was out in the middle of nowhere till you're 18. Wow. Good, because I would have gotten in trouble with real bandwidth. I grew up in a town called Broken Hill. That's where I was born. It's where they filmed Mad Max 2. It's also where BHP got their name from, Broken Hill Proprietary. Oops, didn't do that on the right layer. Apparently, misspelling neighbor is a bad word, Toasty. Don't know why. Yeah. Neighbor without the B was apparently the problem. I don't know why. Area in Fallout named Broken Hills, I think, run by a friendly super mutant named Marcus. Interesting. Wonder if it's any relation, any inspiration. Grew up in a tiny place called Chase Corners. So small, it did not have its own population sign. My neighbors lived in the former church and post office buildings. My family had the schoolhouse building. Wow. There was an actual town 7 kilometers away. 5 to 10 minute walk to get to their door. Huh. Interesting. Oh, wait. I think I just understood what they were going for with that being banned. It's a way to bypass the racial slur filters, I think. Which is dumb, but you know. get back to this. Manife, hi, good to see you. A doghouse? No. It's a shed. How you going today, Manife? Makes sense. I was just thinking about the huge dog that could fit in there. Still tired, but I can't continue sleep because too warm. Ah, the weather, huh? Awake for a bit. Do your dailies before lying down again. Good luck. Hopefully the weather sorts itself out soon. Step out for like 20 minutes. You made the thing fancier than my house. Javelers, thank you. You know, if I'm gonna make you King of Australia, I gotta work on this game pretty hard. Well, make a recommend. I can't guarantee it, but if I'm gonna make the recommendation for King of Australia, you know. It's coming along okay. I'm not upset about the way this is looking. All right. Take a look at this thing. Damn. I'm actually really happy with how it's looking there. We got to put some stuff, some junk in the shed. It's not a place where the player's going to like go and visit or anything, but we do need, there is a few items that need to be picked up from within the shed, but I just want to like clutter a little bit inside the shed. Maybe. Looking good. Thank you, Cybersec. Thank you. Thank you. I was like really struggling for a while here, but this is finally, today it seems like this is finally coming together, so happy about it. Man, working at that resolution and like zoomed out the way I was, like you miss a lot of like the little like details that are bad, but like at the right, once this is scaled to the right resolution, all those like errors are going to go away, and I need to let myself work within the scope of what I am trying to do here. Mike, stop making it look too easy. Thanks. Manafay, you think it needs fertilizer? The shed needs fertilizer? Hmm. The heck? Hey, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in. I have anonymous follows on the channel. I appreciate the follow. I don't know what else to say. Feel free to lurk in the chat. Lurk or join the chat. Say hello. Or not. Either way, I appreciate the support. Thank you very much. Yep. What do you need, mate? What was that? I'll come out in just a second, okay, buddy? I'm just going to take a little moment here. Just gonna go see what my children need, but I think this is coming along okay. I think we're finally getting somewhere with this piece. There's still, I still look at it and I see a lot of things I would want to spend more time on detailing and improving, but I'm just gonna focus, when I get back, I'm gonna focus on getting this roof line looking somewhat where I want it to be, with the tile, the roof, I guess, thatching or whatever it's called. We'll throw some junk to jumble up inside the door frame there, and then we'll draw the door part as well. Then we'll tackle the fence, get that thrown in nice and quick. I don't want to like think too hard about the fence. After that's taken care of, we'll throw the tree in behind the fence that we need. Then I'm going to see what it looks like when we pixelate it and like put it, you know, through the compression and stuff, and hopefully it looks good in engine. We'll see. But yeah, I'll be back in a minute. We'll keep working on this piece in a bit. I'm just gonna go check what's up with the children's. All right. Sorry about the interruption. It's all good though. I think this is gonna work okay in the end. I think we're gonna be all right. I've been worried this whole time working on this room, but it's finally coming together. Finally. What's going on? Oh well, whatever. It's fine. Ignore. Cool. Get working on the roof part. I'm sure I had a good reference I was looking at. I think it was Sam and Max hit the road. Hey, Duke Donuts, how's it going, dude? Good to see you, man. Going all right here. Working on some fun pixel art stuff. Doing a little cleanup. How was Morrowind today? Going pretty damn well. Excellent, excellent. Made a lot of progress in Morrowind tonight. Surprisingly high viewership. Awesome. Xbox Morrowind must be a exciting thing. I was lurking in there for, I mean, I don't know where you went from there, but I'm probably there right now. I have had it in the background while I've been doing this, so. Added a little script thing to OBS, which worked fairly nice. Just a generally fun time. I saw you were doing some coding on there just before I went live. You had some code open. There was something to do with the guts implementation, which seemed interesting. I'm just like going through and like trying to reduce the haloing on everything in the backgrounds here. Make it look a little nicer. This is experimental. I'm still probably going to do some changes on this background, but you know. Probably won't bother doing it on every single part, but where it stands out and it looks a little egregious, maybe. Giving a tour of some of the back-end stuff. Oh, nice, yeah. The neural network broker, the multi-extron changer, and the brain. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. If it wasn't for the Xbox Manifest, we could make Duke Donuts install the Vegemite mod. Have you seen the Vegemite mod, Duke Donuts? Manafay made this mod, and I just couldn't resist helping out a little bit. I made the 3D model for it. Yes!
Whale.
What's happening here?
What have we
Oh my gosh! Well, there's the... Don't know why the screenshot's not loading. There it is. There's the 3D model I made for Vegemite. You can make ash yams into Vegemite in this mod. Delicious, delicious Vegemite. You have to re-upload some stuff, your stuff sometime, Manafay? Yeah, that'll be good. It'd be good to see the mods maintained again. It's still here though, you can still get it. So that's good. I hope people who play this game will like this background. I'm still not happy with it, but hopefully people who play the game will be happy with it. The tree sucks. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a more of a Sam and Max Hit the Road style tree for it instead of a Day of the Tentacle style tree. I think it would look better with everything else in the scene, but we'll see. Yeah, I think this turned out pretty darn well, honestly. Turned out pretty darn well. All right. It's 4:14. I'm tired. I gotta make dinner tonight too. I just unplugged the screen, so you know things might glitch a little bit here. I don't know. Maybe it's okay. Anyway, I gotta make dinner tonight, so I'm gonna have to not stream into the late hours like I would like to. But I'll tell you what, I'm just happy that I finally got to a place where I'm like, you know what, that's basically done. It's basically done, and hopefully people will appreciate the background. I might go back in and do some touch-ups over time, but I think every element that needed to be in there is in there. I'm going to do some, like, there are some additions I need to make, like, you know, drawing the door, and, you know, there's a faucet, a tap that needs to be in the backyard to use. A few other minor things like that, but otherwise, yeah, no, that's pretty much what we needed to do. Throw some kangaroos on the grill, and it's good to go. Right. So yeah, I think that was a pretty successful run today. I know we had some interruptions, but they were the good kind of interruptions where it made me actually reflect and think a bit, which is good. Reflecting and thinking is a good thing to do. I will be back on tonight with more Discworld 2. I've been playing through Discworld 2 lately. And that's been a hell of a lot of fun. Alright, so yeah, day 17, background, we didn't do any inventory today, so that's okay though. I feel like I could almost say that background was done. So day 18, we'll start working on a new background, probably. There is more to be seen on the right from there. We need to draw a second background art piece that we didn't plan That's not in our plan. So yeah, we have a backyard too. So I can mark that as, I guess, done. I don't know, that color's a nice done color. The bedroom is basically done. I might do a little bit more work on it too, but that's basically done. We need to do backyard 2. We need to do lounge, kitchen, stairs, which we started work on, but I kind of abandoned that a couple of times. It'll be like the 3rd or 4th time I attempt it next time I do it. Junkyard entrance, junkyard stealth area, guardhouse, and handheld gaming device view. I think those are the main things. I'm also going to redraw the outro scenes. So I kind of want to account for it here. I know I've already got outro panels here, but this part I want to redraw. So redraw outdoor end of game scenes. But yeah, this already mentions that this part here, but yeah, I just want to mention it there again. AMD is good too, yeah. Have a great evening and a night, Mike. Thank you, Manifest. You have a good one today too. Yeah, more Discworld 2 tonight from me on my main channel. There's a lot going on in my brain at the moment. I got a lot going on, so at some point I'm gonna have to keep working on some other new stuff too. But yeah, I've got things to do for PAX preparation this year, and I've got some stuff to do for December, and starting to get to a point where I'm like, I feel like I want to have stuff done for December that I haven't even really put the energy into that I need to yet. So I got to focus on that soon, which might take a little bit of time away from the dev streams while I focus on those things. Yes, you can still take part in it. There's no limit to sign-ups for December, Manifest. You're welcome, Cuning-san. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great day today too. Is there a link? I don't have one handy right now, but I think it's just december.com. We'll give you everything you need to know. I don't know if there's like a sign-up yet. This is all from 2023 still. So this is like the graphics I produced for it. I actually used it for my own thing for PAX last year, but ended up not getting printed because the printer sucked. But I'm gonna do it again this year. I guess these are people who participated in December last year. They're still getting. We still have the promotion going on, which is good. This is the little trophy I made for December events. Yeah, joining an FAQ. So this will update this soon. They'll open November 1st, which is not long away, honestly. A couple of months away, they'll officially open. There you go. That's your answer. Artyom's still working. Yeah, Artyom and me and TechLink doing all the web stuff. So I'm doing the designs again this year, and I'm also coordinating the events and planning all of the yeah, I need to get some people, actually. I need to get some people to commit to helping me out with it too, because like I ran a lot of it last year. I got a few people to help out, which was good. It'd be nice to get people to host some more big events on their channels, try and drive some more traffic to them and like other December participants. But we're doing last year we did some really fun stuff like Scorched Earth, and had a Scorched Earth one. We had a Sky Roads one. There's a couple other events too. The news, we'll probably I want to focus more on the news article publications as well next year, this year, because last year I wasn't really on top of everything. I didn't have all the plans, so I'm going to actually like pre-write some articles that will help. I can just fill in some details about like who won the event, but I need to have all the events planned, so I still got to work on that. A lot to do for December this year. A lot to do. It was fun last year though. Last year was amazing. Civilization Point Hunt? I don't know what Civilization Point Hunt is, but maybe. I'll definitely let you know when I need to prepare myself before I can start coordinating and asking other people for help. But yeah. Hey, Valiant Cheese, it's great to see you, dude. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. Yeah. You get rated in points after your game is finished. Okay. Yeah, we could have like an offline. Some of the events are like live, and other ones are like you submit your score, and so you go and stream something on your channel, submit the score, and do it that way. I wouldn't mind trying to set something up where people could submit scores. Last year we did it through spreadsheets, and that was fine, but it'd be cool to have it integrated in the website if we can figure that out sometime. So a highest score wins type deal. Yeah, that could be a fun event. I think that's it for me for now. I've got more work to do, obviously, like I said, on everything. There's a lot going on at the moment, but we'll be back later tonight. That's the main thing. That's the main takeaway. I'll be back on later tonight doing some more Discworld 2. I gotta go prepare food. Thank you, Duke. Thank you very much. I'd love to chat and hang out. I know it's aligning our schedules sometimes a bit tricky because of our stream schedules, but I'm gonna try and work that out. Hopefully. Okay, so tomorrow for me, work day, then streaming tomorrow night, doing more game dev. Then it's work day on Tuesday where I'm in the office, and then Tuesday evening is family evening. Now, it used to be Thursdays, now it's Tuesdays because of the work schedule changes. Wednesday, work, stream. Thursday, game dev day. But Thursday we could probably make work, I reckon. As long as you're offline, or I mean not streaming and online available. See if we can work it out. Is December purely an English event? There are people who are not English speakers who are participating. I don't remember if we have any rules about that. You could check the FAQ. I guess the FAQ is not currently available. I don't remember if we had any rules about that. I don't think we had rules about must speak English. I'm pretty sure that's fine. If you want stream in like German or something, you can. Pretty sure that's fine. I will hit you up, Duke Donuts. There's a lot of people I need to catch up with, actually. You, a couple other people as well. So we'll do it. We'll be in touch. Good session today, though. Finally finished off that background that's been, like, bugging me. It's good. Move on to the next one, and that one can bug me for a little while. Hopefully next Thursday will be very productive, and we'll get a little bit more done than just, like, working on one background. Because I need to get some real progress on this game if I'm going to release it in a reasonable time frame. Oh my gosh, it's Sonneveld. Good to see you, dude. I hope you're all very well. I hope you're all having a great day. I do have to make a move though. Otherwise I'll be too late getting dinner started, and then I won't have time to stream, and you know, I'll be all negative on myself for the next 3 days. You have a good one too, Cheese. Thank you so much, mate. Sonneveld, it's great to see you as always. Another person I need to actually talk to and catch up with and hang out with. I'm such a bad person. I don't connect with people enough. I'm sorry about that. But I'll do better somehow. What's for dinner? Anything good? The kids wanted to do homemade nachos, so I gotta go get all the stuff prepped up for that. And I gotta cook the meats, and we got to have something else on the side too, so it's a healthy, balanced dinner as much as it can be when it's nachos. So we'll see. Everything is a balance. It's true, Sonneveld. It's true. If only there was another 72 hours in the day. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so funny because like I've got 2 days a week now to use for streaming and game dev stuff, and I'm still finding myself like running up against time limits and being like, oh gosh, I didn't do as much as I wanted to do this week. I guess that's just life, right? You get the extra time and it still doesn't feel like enough. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I'll see you again soon. Hopefully you come back to the next dev stream, or at least come over and hang out tonight with the Discworld 2 run. That's been going super well, by the way. I think we might finish it tonight. It feels like we're getting close to an ending. I don't know if we are, but it feels like we are. So, anyway, see you soon. Bye.